Hello, my name is Beth, or Queen of Spade, and you're watching The Manipulation of a Hunbot. Every single day, every time you walk out of your house, every time you log on to social media, you are watching a Hunbot get manipulated by multi-level marketing. 1 in 13 people have been involved in an MLM, and all of us know someone who has been. Before I continue, I think that we need to define the terms that will be used often in this series. Manipulation: the skillful handling, controlling, or using of something or someone. The word often has negative connotations. A manipulative person knows how to twist words, play on emotion, and otherwise manage a situation in a sneaky fashion to get what he wants. Multi-level marketing, MLM. A strategy some direct sales companies use to encourage existing distributors to recruit new distributors, who are then paid a percentage of their recruits' sales. The recruits are the distributors' downline, and they are the upline. They also make money through direct sales, and it's a pyramid scheme. MLMs are pyramid schemes that use a product, usually of low quality or with no real customer base, in order to have a legal loophole. If the companies sell products, they aren't legally considered a pyramid scheme. That needs to change. A Hun: a dismissive slang for people peddling multi-level marketing or pyramid schemes. Other terms are Bossbabe, independent consultant, distributor, Hunbot. A Hunbot is my term for the fully manipulated Hun. How do you tell if a Hun has crossed over into being a Hunbot? I've compiled a list of things that tell us so, and we're going to go through them right now. Their social media is full of business posts, or they steadily follow the 3 business, 2 personal, or vice versa rule on all of their social media accounts. Cold messaging is either the sign of a brand new Hun who has not yet been taught true manipulation tactics, or it's the sign of a Hunbot, and usually a desperate one. Hunbots often explain the business is not a pyramid scheme. And of course, they often show pyramid charts to do so. They have a constant positive attitude, always posting motivational quotes on social media to the point where it can actually really deter everyone. MLMs always try to sell people the dream, and Hunbots will sell it to you too, saying that their life is rich, successful, and absolutely perfect. But it ends up being a nightmare for so many. Hunbots lose interest in all their hobbies and passions due to having to always be on the phone to take parts in trainings and make their next sale. They're often even willing to cut off family and friends if they see them as being negative. All is well, all is perfect, all the time. The manipulation tactics of MLMs are very strong. The worst part is you don't even know you're being manipulated. I cannot stress that enough. Let's discuss ways MLMs gain and keep control of their consultants. No independence. Everyone involved in an MLM is depending on their upline for guidance and their downline for a good paycheck. MLMs are built on a structure where your success is very much depends on the success of those below you. They pretend the business is all about your personal growth and success, but it's truly only about how well you perform so your uplines can get paid. Uplines often say they depend on their team. That way, everyone feels responsible for everyone else's success and will work extra hard to not disappoint anyone. Guilt. From the beginning of your recruitment process, you will be guilted about every aspect of your life if you join. If you're a parent, they will guilt you about working outside of the home. Work for them instead, they say. If you are a student, they will guilt you about spending too much time on homework and not enough time on your own business. Not to mention, everyone is depending on you. Guilt is a powerful tool and emotion. That brings us to the next one. MLMs play on all your emotions. Their sales posts are to play on potential customers' emotions. They tell their stories and often have consultants come up with a why. That's their main reason for wanting to be successful in their businesses. They will find out personal issues people have and use them to sell them a product or to convince them to join their team. Money issues? Our MLM can solve this. You don't want to be unable to put a roof over your kids' heads or feed their little bellies. Join my team and I'll help you. Self-doubt. They make you doubt if your life is good enough. Even if you feel secure, you can't help but notice how successful and how happy they make life seem. Maybe you do need something more. When you are a part of an MLM, when you cannot be as successful as they would like, they put the blame all on you. You weren't working hard enough, or you didn't want it bad enough. It can make someone doubt themselves. The MLMs depend on this, so they can manipulate you into working harder for them. It's a deep form of manipulation, and its effects can last long after you've left the company. Repetitive. Repetition is often used as a manipulation tactic or mind control technique. Constant repetition is a very powerful persuasion tool. When repetition is combined with social proof, which MLMs also create, it delivers the message without a fail. MLMs even have their consultants work on personal growth. Sounds wonderful, and it can be if it's not because you're involved in a pyramid scheme. Positive affirmations are often used along with MLM catchphrases. Consultants are constantly made to take part in trainings, post the same social media posts over and over, and are brainwashed into believing positive information about the company and the MLM business model as often as humanly possible. They make you believe in possibility. They word well. MLMs use language skills and marketing techniques, along with repetition and other manipulation tactics, to trick you into believing in the possibility of their success. They make it sound simple, although it's often confusing. They make success sound possible, even though the Federal Trade Commission says less than 1% of people are successful in MLM businesses. But the companies and their Hunbots are good at making you believe. Advocacy. Not only do MLMs sell you on being able to help other consultants empower your fellow sisters and boss babes into running their own businesses, gain financial freedom, and bettering their entire lives, but many companies run fundraisers or retreats or claim to take part in some kind of advocacy for a greater cause. That can be very appealing to some people, especially in 2019, when everyone feels they should be helping the oppressed more. We are going to further dive into the psychology behind all their manipulation tactics. But first, let me tell you how they got me. This is me. Back in 2016, I was doing It Works. My daughter wasn't 2 years old yet, my husband was injured at work, and we were on disability. I thought I had made a friend. When you join an MLM, one of the first things you are taught is to talk to everyone like they are your best friend. I remember hearing that and thinking, my upline did that well. I thought she wanted to help me fix my life, like the good friend she had become. But she wanted me to join her pyramid scheme. It works. I don't hold any ill will towards her, though. She was manipulated, like I eventually was. I wanted to stay home with my daughter and take care of my husband, so I thought a stay-at-home business would be perfect. When I was befriended by someone who was an independent consultant for It Works, and the starter kit was on sale for a quarter of the price, I figured this MLM could solve all my problems. Spoiler alert, it didn't. I was soon back to work and feeling extra guilty about it, since the MLM had filled my head with misinformation that working as a mom out of home and being away from my child would somehow harm her. But I was spending more time with her working out of home than when I was in an MLM company. My mental health and self-esteem deteriorated. I was in a rough place and no longer working as hard for It Works, and everyone, my entire sisterhood, just disappeared. I was all alone. My upline and her upline were moving on to another company, and I was not going to follow. So then they completely disappeared, and I was all alone, left to pick up the pieces of my life. So I did. Then my best friend joined Scentsy. I joined to help her out. That's the mentality that was put into my head. She would be more successful if I joined under her and was successful. But I wasn't, and she wasn't. I had already dove head first into the world of r/anti-MLM here on YouTube. So there was no looking back, and I was finally done with MLMs. I still am and will advocate against them forever. I had someone recently tell me they shouldn't trust my judgment about MLMs since I didn't have good judgment to have joined one to begin with. Touché. That's why I want to do this series. Joining a multi-level marketing scheme doesn't mean you have bad judgment or that you're naive. Hunbots aren't stupid, uneducated, or even easy to manipulate. The issue is that MLMs have very strong manipulation tactics that work. They work well, very well. This is why I want to deeply unravel the psychology behind their manipulation in this. We need to fully understand these tactics, our psychology, how we fall for these schemes if we want to help stop them from hurting more people. Thousands sign on to be a consultant every month, and just as many are hurt. Some lose everything. It's a dangerous epidemic in our society, and it is time to raise awareness. Don't call the fire department, though. The manipulation tactics MLMs use are very similar to those used by an abusive partner in a domestic relationship. You wouldn't call a survivor of abuse, I hope, stupid. So please refrain from viewing Hunbots as such. No, I'm not only saying this because I was one, but as with most manipulation, we often don't understand when it's occurring, and we need to find a way to stop it. So how do we put an end to these MLM pyramid schemes? By doing exactly what you're doing. Spread education and awareness. Take part in the anti-MLM community on social media. Watch anti-MLM YouTube videos. If you have been harmed by an MLM, see a lawyer and seek some legal advice. You could be eligible to join in on one of the many lawsuits these companies face. LuLaRoe, Unique, Advocare are just a few of the companies that have been involved in lawsuits by consultants or Hunbots. Do not support MLM companies, even if it's a family member or a close friend who asks you to. Joining them turns you into a Hun. Buying products from them will only help enable the MLM. it will further manipulate your friend or family member into believing in their success in these businesses. And it will help buy into their false hope and dreams. Literally. Do not be aggressive with them or constantly ask them to quit. It could result in them cutting all ties for being too negative about their lifestyle choices. It happens. Instead, point them to proper resources such as this video and ask that they be open-minded and take a look. Besides that, do not completely ditch your family member or friend because they are trapped in an MLM. I know their constant posts and sales pitches can be irritating, but you can unfollow or mute them on social media and check in with them via text or private message. Remember, they have been completely manipulated. Now that you've watched this episode, hopefully you never will be. In our next episode, we will be further discussing the manipulation tactics that MLMs use and diving even deeper into the psychology behind all of this. I hope you found the first episode of our series informative. The next one will be a lot longer and will have a lot more information, so just prepare for that. Please like this video, subscribe if you have yet to. The next episode will be Friday, November 29th at 10 a.m. Eastern. That's next Friday. Thanks so much, and I'll see you then. Don't get manipulated by a Hunbot.